What if I tell you that in Lagos, there's a baby that cries every night, and anyone who steps outside to help never comes back? This is not an old village story. This is not something that happened long ago. This happened in a modern Nigerian city with CCTV cameras, with street lights, with neighbors everywhere, and yet nobody could stop it because the baby was not a baby. Listen carefully. And if you hear a baby crying outside your door tonight, please don't open it. Lagos never truly sleeps. Even at midnight, generators are humming, buses are still moving, and somebody somewhere is arguing about fuel price. Life continues. But that night in Surulere, something else joined the noise. A baby started crying. At first, the cry was soft, like a newborn that just needed milk. But slowly, it became sharp, long, painful, the kind of cry that enters your chest. Mama Sadi was the first to hear it. She was used to babies crying after all. She had raised 4 children. But this one sounded different. It sounded close, too close. She tied her wrapper tightly and said, "Which kind mother go leave baby outside like this?" The cry became louder. It sounded like it was right in front of her door. She opened the door. The crying stopped immediately. By morning, Mama Sade was gone. Her slippers were still outside, her door was open, but she was nowhere to be found. No blood, no struggle, nothing, just silence. People said maybe kidnappers came. Some said ritualists. Others said she ran away. But her grandson Tunde said something strange. He whispered. Grandma said the baby was crying. Everyone kept quiet. That night, at exactly 12:17 a.m., the crying came back. 3 young boys coming back from a football viewing center heard it near the transformer. One of them laughed. Maybe somebody threw baby away. They followed the sound. The cry moved. When they walked faster, it moved further. When they slowed down, it waited, like it wanted them to follow. They entered the bush behind the estate. One boy stopped. This thing no normal, he said, but the other two continued walking. The crying became softer, softer. Then it stopped. Only one boy came back, screaming. His name was Emeka. He was shaking. His body was cold. His eyes were red. When he finally spoke, his voice was dry. It was not a baby, he said. It opened its mouth too wide. He began crying loudly. It swallowed them. Nobody believed him until the school incident happened. 2 days later, in a private secondary school in Yaba, during prep hour, students heard a baby crying inside the toilet. They thought it was a prank. One senior student went to check. The crying stopped when he opened the door. Only his phone was found on the floor. The CCTV footage showed something crawling on the ceiling. Small, fast, not human. That was when people started calling it baby bush. An old woman from Ibano came forward. Her name was Iyalaro. She said this spirit was not new. Long ago, in a forest where that playground now stands, there was an illegal clinic. Unwanted babies were secretly abandoned in the bush to avoid shame. One night, during heavy rain, a baby cried for hours. Nobody came. By morning, the baby was dead. And something changed in the air that night. Iyalaro said something powerful. Humans will always respond to a crying baby. That is why it cries. The police set a trap. At exactly 12:17 a.m., the baby appeared under the playground swing, wrapped in white cloth. An officer bent down to carry it. The
The next
cameras
morning,
went
that
blank.
officer's bed had turned completely white. He kept repeating one sentence. It asked me, "Why did you leave me?" The spirit was not just hungry, it was angry. It wanted to be remembered. It wanted someone to admit the truth. That night, the community gathered. They did not bring weapons, they brought apology. When the crying started again, it sounded weaker, sad, A small figure appeared. Its eyes looked old. It whispered, "Why did nobody come?" Iya Laro stepped forward. "We did not know." The baby spirit trembled. For the first time, it did not open its mouth. It slowly faded into the darkness. Since that night, no one has disappeared. But during heavy rain, if you listen carefully, you may still hear a soft cry far away. And if you hear it tonight, will you open the door?